Welcome to the Inspired Riding Podcast. I'm your host, Beth Lauren Parrish. As a certified riding instructor, remote coach, and rapid transformational therapy practitioner, a powerful form of hypnotherapy, I'm here to remind you to slow down, trust your intuition, and really deeply listen to your horse. And this will make for the best co-creative dances possible, whether you're on the ground or connecting on their backs. Thank you so much for being here, and here we go. Hey there, Inspired Riders. We are back with the Animal Wisdom series. I have Jana Wagner here with me, and today we're going to speak to one of her cats and her family, Arinda. How are you today, Jana?
I am great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm looking forward to hearing her wisdom.
Yeah, me too. Funny thing, yesterday when we were on Pilates, Arinda came in and was like, "Is it time?"
Oh, so sweet. She was ready.
Uh-huh. She's been checking. And then last night, well, yesterday evening, I had dinner break and I came back up to work and she was in here sitting in the box staring at me. "Is it time?" Of course, right now she's on the bed completely crashed out. So
That's hilarious. And if anyone's wondering, when Jana said Pilates, we actually keep each other accountable and we pull up our Pilates program and we Zoom with each other so that way we do it together. It's a really great way to keep going with our fitness.
it really is. Yeah, because otherwise I would not show up and do it. Let's be honest. And something Arinda wanted me to just note for everyone. If you're doing animal communication and you're not directly with them or they're not sitting next to you, if they're somewhere else doing something else or sleeping, don't worry about it. They can still communicate with you. You can still connect with them. Sometimes it's even easier if they're crashed out because they're very focused with you. Only one time did a client and I get our signals crossed about time zones. And the lady had time right then, but she goes, "Is it okay? I just fed the horses, they're eating." I said, "Well, let me check." So I tuned in with our horse and he said, "Could you come back later?" He wanted to eat in peace. However, I have many times talked to people and they'll say, "Is it okay if I give my horse hay while we talk?" And I'm like, "Absolutely. Let them be comfortable and happy while we have a conversation. It'll go better." And so, yeah, just some things to think about if you're venturing into animal communication yourself. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that's always great advice. I remember tuning in with a horse in Australia and I was kind of showing him what my day was like. And he's like, "Why is it light there? It's dark where I am." It was really hard to explain. We're on the opposite sides of the planet. Yep.
I love that. Okay, let me introduce Arinda. She actually chose her name. Um, my Stella kitty, my black kitty, had passed away probably in August. Arinda was born in September. A really good friend of mine from college saw Arinda's mother very, very pregnant, waddling down the side road and picked her up and brought her home. um, her name is Fiona. She still lives with my friend. And so once these kittens were born, my friend started to look for homes for them. And my roommate at the time and I, we decided to adopt 2 kittens because we missed Stella. And so I guess like that was September. So 8-ish weeks later, another friend was getting one of the kittens. So we drove up to Maine from Massachusetts, took a road trip and picked up our kittens and brought them home. Arinda is a polydactyl also. So it's really fun when you play with her because you see these lobster claws coming at you. It's very comical. She's just adorable. Um, and I've said before, I really enjoy asking my animals what they call themselves and what they would like to be named. And I remember at the time there was a horse named the Linda that I thought was a really cool name. And so I think maybe she pulled on some of that and picked something similar, yet enough different. And at first I was calling her Ari because I felt kind of shy about saying her name as Arinda, and quickly found out that that was unacceptable to call her Ari. So we stopped doing that. She will go by Rennie Wren or Miss Wren. That's okay, but not Ari. Never Ari. It's Arinda. Um, and then the other thing that's really fun is my sister and we got to wondering about where did she come up with that? Because doesn't that sound like something that that exists, right? So the similar word is an Iroquois term called Orenda. It is the invisible magic power believed by the Iroquois people of North America to pervade all natural objects as a spiritual energy. And so it just was always really interesting to kind of bring that idea to this cat because she just has such a really cool presence and a really specific way about her.
I need to interrupt because that sounds like the Force from
Uh-huh.
Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
How freaking cool is that?
Very cool, right? Um, so then the rest of her bio, if you will, she came home as my cat, and life happens as it does. I moved back home to Pennsylvania, and I couldn't bring her. And so I had contacted my friend. Did she know anyone that might want to have her? I couldn't bring her home. And so she was looking around. And then all of a sudden, I realized my sister had one cat. She had had a big life change also. And I said, "Hey, do you want to take Arinda?" And she said, "You know what? Yeah." Like it was immediate. Yeah, definitely. So we brought Arinda over, and she's been my sister's cat ever since. um, I'm going to go ahead and let Arinda take the wheel here, though, because I could share about my own experiences and memories with her, but I'd really want to hear from her. So I'm just going to stop there and let her go. She says, "Greetings, human speakers." That's you and me, Beth. She said, "Welcome to my humble home. Thank you for agreeing to meet with me today." Let me explain myself. You see, Jana has only ever really communicated with me out of necessity. Let me explain that. Because I have had very unusual health situations through the years, I often only connect with Jana when there is a need. This is not a shallow thing. It's about knowing who to go to when you are in crisis. Who is your support system? Who is the one that will hear you receive you, and understand you when you are in crisis. Everyone needs that someone in their life. Jana was expecting me just now to talk very fast and very quickly. Word vomit. I do not word vomit. She didn't know this about me because while we have come in and out of each other's lives a lot in the last 11 years, we have never actually cohabitated for very long, and now we do. Therefore, I need long pauses between what I wish to share. You know, this cat is unlike any animal I've ever talked to, and I'm sure that I've said this a few times on this podcast, but I'll tell you what, I keep coming up on all of these new things that really blow me away. Most animals do speak and just kind of get in a stream of consciousness and just share, and she just wants to explore it at a much slower rate. She's describing it as being much more still and extremely present. Extremely present. So imagine, if you will, doing your regular everyday sport and then making your sport extreme. She is, and she said the difference with extreme presence or stillness is not intensity, it's just amplified. This is why I get mad when I get picked up. She said, okay, I want to talk about when I almost died once, because it's really important to understand. When I was a small kitten, I had a reaction to the anesthesia from my spay, and I started to go into, it's not heart failure, but heart dysfunction. I did not have a heart murmur nor heart failure. While the humans called it enlarged heart, it's actually that I came in with an abnormally large heart. You, when you have extra toes, you're gonna have extra other things too. So for me, I had extra heart, which for my age and size appeared enlarged. But really, it's just extra. So because I have a bigger heart than average, she said, Jana, just like those racehorses you talked about, that you know about, that have the larger than average hearts, and people wonder if that's why they ran so fast. And I said, well, is it true? She goes, it's a mystery. And then like raised her eyebrows.
That's so cute.
Okay. The thing is, I definitely came in from another realm. And the thing that almost killed me because of my reactions to chemical substances, it was a sort of traumatic experience in that I couldn't understand, and not because I was small and a kitten. I couldn't understand because I've never been here before. I've never been to Earth before. So it was extremely confusing and painful, and it hurt my heart. It hurt my heart physically, mentally, and emotionally, and spiritually, because I came in with the pure knowing and understanding of the life force, the force, whatever you want to call it, the spiritual energy of everything. I came in with that. And so, therefore, I was not as connected to my body as I ought to have been. So, when I went through the physical trauma surgery, it really threw me for a loop. And I thought, what the heck have I got myself into? And she said, I never told Jana this, but I panicked. So while there is truth in the side effects of medications used, I actually probably would have been fine if I hadn't panicked, if my spirit hadn't panicked. If it hadn't been for Jana and Cheryl believing in me, and Jana's dad telling her to give me a chance, I would not have stayed. I would have left right then. This is why it's really important to know who your people are, that when you're in crisis, you can go to them and they will help direct you to a space where you know that you have a fighting chance, simply because your people will come to you and see you and say, you have value. You are welcome to be here. You are wanted here. You are, yes, valuable here. That night at the emergency animal hospital, Jana told me, we are doing all the things that we can do for you. It's up to you if you want to stay or if you need to go. She told me she would understand what I decided, but that she hoped I would stay. And so when Cheryl and I did call before we went over to the emergency vet to see her the next day, and we weren't expecting anything good. And what we got was, we can't believe it. She's better.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So when she went to live with my sister, she would just talk and talk and talk, just meow. And my sister would go, oh, yeah, meow, yeah, meow, meow. Right? My sister said, what is she talking about to me one day? And I go, did you know she almost died once? So it's kind of been our little family joke ever since, when Rennie is like being very chatty. Oh yeah? Are you sharing with us about how you almost died once, but you decided to stay? And she's like, meow.
That's so cool. So now I'm so curious, does she have advice for cat owners or any other animal owners to prepare for a surgery to help them understand what's going on so it won't feel like such a panic?
She said, boy, that's a tough one. She says yes and no. because it's like anything else. You can tell the kid that the stove is hot, but until they touch it and experience it, it's not going to click. I do feel it's really important to be really clear and discuss with your animal and tell them the details of what they may be about to experience. And while I know it is really hard to understand unless you've been through it, just do your best. Do your best to tell us what we might experience and what we might expect, and remind them that when their surgery is over, be really transparent about what surgery is. And be really clear that when the surgery is over, they're going to wake up feeling confused, but you are going to be there to come and get them and bring them home and nurse them through their recovery. Surgery is a big deal. It's a really, really big deal. Her other suggestion is to learn about flower essences, learn about what ones will be appropriate and helpful to support healing, recovery, and distress. She would prefer to actually change the word trauma to distress. Flower remedies really help diffuse, because you notice how the flower in its true form diffuses its fragrance and its vibrance and its color. So imagine how many spectrums just a flower can activate or address for the being and the body. You know, I never looked at flowers like that. I think I knew intuitively, but I didn't think about it intellectually this way. The flower actually addresses every aspect of mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. Just looking at a flower changes your emotion, your moods, right? Smelling it changes another level. And many flowers have medicinal properties by way of the root, leaf, or petal. Not to mention it feeds the bees, which in turn, oh, flowers are literally the center of the circle of life. According to Arinda, the flower is the physical manifestation of the force.
More chills there. That's awesome.
Really cool. She just gave me a whole other visual on the circle of life, or the cycle or circle of things. It gave it this additional dimension where it becomes like round in a sphere, you know, like on the earth. So it's not just a flat circle. Oh my gosh, this is why there's flat earthers. All right, I'm like having like
Yeah.
this really neat visual she's showing me, because if you think of a circle as just a ring or a flat round thing, you add this extra dimension or additional dimension of life force or the spiritual energy, right? And it gives depth and dimension to the circle, and suddenly you've got this ball instead of a flat disc. But do you see what I'm getting at with the flat earther? I'm not
Yes.
jabbing. I find
Yep.
actually I've read some stuff, but I've always wondered. I'm like, what is that perspective? Well, that's it. That's that perspective of just a circle being a flat disc. And then you bring that flower energy in and it just expands and gives depth and dimension.
And just before we were recording the podcast, I was telling Jana I was like having visuals of not so nice things that happened in my life. But you know what was interesting is how I did a reframe in my mind, because I was like, I really don't want to think about that now. It's done. I literally turned it all into flowers, and there are daffodils in my mind instead.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so the fact that she just said that, I'm like, what was I just tuning into already? That was really cool.
And I was just sitting here telling you how my pasture blooms fragrance makes me when I smell it. I think I see myself sitting in a field of flowers.
And a little plug for Moss and Moon Essentials. If you go to my website, inspiredriding.com/resources, and you will see the Moss and Moon's Essentials. She has the most amazing fragrances, all natural, non toxic, and a really cool bug stick to keep flies away. So check that out when you can. It's really great. You can get 10% off with my code there. But yeah, the Pasture Blooms is wonderful. That was the first fragrance I got from her. So,
I love it.
yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for something else in my shelf full of horse concoctions. And I was like, ooh, my bug stick, ready and waiting.
It's so good. And the horses love that smell.
Yeah, right now I'm just glad the bugs aren't back out yet. Okay, where were we?
So we were talking about spheres and flowers are the life force. What else would Arinda like to share? Does she have anything specific she
It's
wants to share with
really,
us?
really funny that we went on that little sidebar and she's going,
She thinks it's funny. Okay, cool. Sorry for doing our little darting off, but we're reeling ourselves back in now.
don't be sorry. It's funny. I just wondered to her about the whole idea of cats and nine lives, right? And
Oh,
since she
yes.
had that experience, here's her take on it. She said, you know, I might say, I might present it as I almost died once because I almost did. However, it was not like a near death experience where I clocked out and then came back. It was not like that for me. It was just a very tired, heavy, dark, confusing time for me. She said you could liken it to humans talking about their dark night of the soul. And what I want to share is it's possible to move through a dark night of the soul in a very brief space of time because mine was less than 48 hours. So I just want to invite people that if they want to move through and heal something quickly, they absolutely can. If you allow yourself the space and the time to really dive into the darkness, you'll emerge quicker, fresher, and faster than you could have ever imagined. Now, I have the luxury of being a cat and not going to work. So it was easy for me to move through quickly. The thing is, though, don't try to do it by yourself. Don't try to move through your darkness alone. That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important to know who your people are that will receive you when you're in your darkness. That is all. She said, I really am a different kind of cat, so I am perhaps not the one to speak on the 9 lives idea. I used to joke with her that she was a little alien, and that's why we didn't always connect. And we both thought it was funny.
Can she talk
And
about the realm she came from?
is there a constellation Mercury, or just who is Mercury other than the planet? Is it Mercury a god in myth? Okay. She's calling it mercurial. What does that mean?
Let me look it up. Someone with unpredictable, rapid, and extreme mood changes or volatile, fickle nature. It also refers to being lively, quick witted, and related to the planet god Mercury.
Oh my God. Okay. Right on. All right. Because she was saying that while many people have heard of the collective Lyra, or it's Lyra, right?
I don't know that
Lyrian?
one.
Lyrians are the more lion looking type
Okay.
that many people, she says, assume is where cats come from, but her kind of cat comes from the Mercury space. And she's saying that there's a constellation like, okay, ready? Sometimes my animals give me directions through the galaxy. Um, she said if you went directly at Mercury, then just past it, you would go behind it straight and then to the left. You would find the star cluster or the system of Mercurial. That is where she is from. That is where many cats are from. She wouldn't say that necessarily all polydactyls come from that place, although there may be, she says, there may be something significant in the polydactyl line, the Hemingways, right? That also comes through the mercurial system, because she's saying the reason they have extra toes is because their cells are programmed differently. And so sometimes when you travel through dimensions to come and be on a place like Earth, uh, do you remember Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when they went through all those different dimensions and kept changing shapes? It's similar. And so they ended up with extra toes. She said it's a funny side effect that happens from venturing from their home to ours. She said she actually doesn't know why she's here. She says, but it's good fun. What was the question?
What's her realm
From?
like? Yeah. Does she remember it?
It's similar and dissimilar to the Earth. It's its own system. She said it's really quite similar. So to be clear, not a second Earth, just similar. She said it's a lot hotter, drier, and sunnier as a rule. She said that she believes this is part of why cats don't tend to drink a lot of water on the earth and get dehydrated often, is because where they are from, There isn't water as we would think of it here. She said the quote unquote moisture living beings need in that location, in that system, receive moisture from the air. And yep, from the air. Oh, interesting. She said if any of you have heard about the humans that proclaim themselves as air-atarians, that they receive all their nourishment from the air, not food, not anything else. I imagine they do drink water, though I don't know that for sure. She said it's a similar idea. That is how she would describe it in Earth terms. But she said it's very tropical like the entire planet. And if you were to tune in and etherically travel to our system, you would be able to access and deepen into learning amplification of being present. She said that is the essence of where I'm from, which to an Earth life might seem incredibly boring. However, if you have ever experienced amplified presence, you would never be bored because it would never occur to you.
I wonder if that's why you feel extra present when you're inside a sauna. Like that heat and that it just kind of brings you into yourself, right?
She said, yes, if that is how you choose to experience it, that, like I said, knowing your people and knowing your tools that will help support you into those spaces. So, yes.
And did the beings look like cats there or something else?
We look as we do on the earth.
Okay. That's cool.
It is cool. We look the same. I was trying to, when I was asking her to show me more, like what they do, coming through my earth mind. And she's like, I'm still me. They look the same. Probably the only deviation would be the extra toes.
Is there any specific wisdom from that realm that she feels she can share that would help here on Earth?
A lot more than amplified presence.
Sorry, I was being greedy. Half halt back, Beth.
So bad. Because they're like, excuse me.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
She said, you aren't greedy. You're just curious, and that's okay. So I will leave you with this to your question. Amplified presence is all about curiosity and expanding your curiosity. And that is something that we live by where I am from. Curiosity.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Other questions?
Should we go for the ones that were asked in the group?
Sure.
Okay, Cindy wanted to know she's had 2 cats leave and she's wondering why it seems cat time with them seems so short. Does Arinda have anything to say about that?
Leave as in death or leave as in move out and go somewhere else?
She's not sure. Like, obviously left the house, but she doesn't know if they passed on or they just left.
Well, there is no short answer to this question. Although, Cindy, I believe your cats crossed over to another dimension. And when I say crossed over, I don't mean passed away. I mean literally crossed a dimension and entered into another. And sometimes when we do that, we forget to go back or we forget how to get back. She said, allow me to apologize on your cat's behalf for their actions. She said she knows without a doubt that your cats never intended to just vanish. Sometimes we just make decisions on impulse, on curiosity's sake. And while it was never our intention to disappear completely, let me just apologize on their behalf for perhaps not understanding at the time how it would make you feel. One thing that you should know is that you are still loved and thought of fondly. They didn't leave you because of something you did or didn't do enough of. So please do not take this personally as a shortcoming on your part. Please just understand that sometimes we merely act on impulse and go on adventure and forget to return or forget how to return. Now, some cats will recognize that their time with you is complete and they feel pulled or called to assist another. Arinda wants to apologize on behalf of all the cats that have moved on without alerting their people first. She said, Jana, I agree that it's not a very nice way to treat your humans. She said, I will put out what do you call it, APB to the other cats that if they could please let their people know their intentions, even though it is a hard conversation to have. I will appeal to the cat community at large to please be more open with their people if they need to make this change. Now, please know that no matter what happens, we are still safe. We travel very differently and uniquely from other beings who have earth bodies because we get to bring in our uh, uh, our original forms our original bodies, we get to bring those into the planet with us. Unlike, similarly, most humans look very different before they become human. Most of us cats get to come in as we always have been. And where was I going with that? Oh, so therefore, when we transition, you might see our earth clothing left behind, but we are still us. We still look in our original form as we do on earth. There is no change there. From what I know, there is no change there. She is indicating that where she's from and this sort of cat is very different from the big cats, the lions and tigers, right? The big cats. She believes they are of another source. And while they are similar, they are not the same.
What does she like about being a cat?
The gift of the opportunity to share amplified presence. A body that allows you to do what you want to do. A body that allows you to be who you are and express and move in a way that is you. The softness that is on the outside and on the inside. If you could touch presence and feel what it feels like to touch it, it would be the softness of a cat. That's what I like.
Love that. That's beautiful. Jana, do you have any questions?
I did, but I think she answered it.
Okay. Yeah, we have
Remember-
one. We have one more from our group too. What was that?
I don't remember specifically what it was. It was like so like sharp in my mind this morning.
Oh,
I think that she already covered it.
okay, good. So Kelly wanted to know, because Arinda was originally in Maine, it got her thinking, wondering how animals feel about being bounced around, moving from home to home.
All right, then. I am aware that there has been discussion about soul contracts. Now, because my sort of cat came in from the mercurial system, it's not the same kind of realm or dimensional frequency, if you will, that many who come through the space where soul contracts are created and written and agreed to, I did not come through there. So this is to preface your question about animals being bounced around. So since I did not come through there, and yes, I had my home where I was born, my home with Jana, and then my home with Julia, and then my home where I live now. It depends a little bit on how you see bounced around. If you mean lots of different people or simply just moving with your own people. Change is always a challenge. The more we can embrace change, the easier it will be. So let me circle back to the contracts. Since I do not have one, bouncing around is not really something that I think about or concern myself with. In other words, those that have contracts and agreements with the humans that come through in that way, they have actually planned to be bounced around, if you will. They have planned to meet a lot of different people. They have planned to have these experiences. And so, therefore, sensitive people like yourself, Kelly, one of your purposes in this life is to come to the space with the animals that come into your life because you have agreed to have that experience with them. So, one of your purposes is to learn all you can about them and to listen deeply and to share experiences and to give them a listening ear. That is one of your specialties. So since I am not bound to my own contract, I can see others very clearly, which is why it's easy for me to tell you this is one of your specialties. So while I can't exactly speak to your question, I can tell you directly that, again, what's important is that your animals know that you are their person or their go-to that they can go to for support, to be seen and heard and loved. And so they came from different places because they knew one way or the other they needed to get to you. So when we tap into us animals, when we tap into the Arinda energy, it guides us to the people that we need that are going to be that support system that supports our needs and our healing and our growth and whatever else we need. And sometimes that means that we are in bad places with bad people. And I'm very sorry that that's even an option. She said she knows, she knows from her past and from her history before this life that there are some really bad things that transpire. And she's really sorry that that even has to be a thing. It's heartbreaking, which is another reason I came in with an extra large heart so that I could heal that aspect of me and have a nice, comfortable, loving life and share my message of the importance of having the people that will receive you. So Kelly, again, I hope that it's clear that one of your great purposes in this life is to be a receiver of stories from the animals so that they can really learn what connection with a human is, what it really can be. I suspect that some of your animals came in with baggage, and if you have even the slightest idea of how much you have helped them, that's what matters. Ooh, that made
Beautiful.
me really emotional.
Oh,
It reminded me a little bit of something Chip shared with me a while ago. Okay. That, I never believed in love at first sight till I saw Chip that day, and I didn't know that he also saw me that way. And it was, oh, thank God I found her.
Oh, so sweet. Yeah.
Helped me through a really hard time, and apparently he needed me to help him through his. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, whew, okay. What else? What else we got?
Is there anything else she wants to share, or does that feel complete for her?
I think she's some kind of oracle.
Right?
I think I am going to ask her to sit in a little bit more. I'm gonna ask her for help because I have a clear understanding of her specialties when it comes to working with others and the healing aspect, because there are aspects of it that don't come naturally to me, that people ask me about, and I am not an expert in these areas. They're very very woo woo, and while there's threads of truth in all of these things, I am not someone that can pull a book off your Akashic Record shelf and just open it and read it. It's just not how I.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
um, but it was pretty incredible how she could show me the important parts to share, and it was so clear. Um, I never work alone. I might have a lot of training and teaching and learning and a lot of energetic modalities, but I never work alone. I always asking my animal team or someone, whoever is appropriate to assisting me, because it I don't have words. It's not just easier, it's collaborative.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while there is a lot of work you can do on your own for yourself, um, we need those people that we know we can go to while we're trying to work through what's bothering us or weighing us down.
Well, if you think of
Uh,
it like we're all strings of light, instead of playing a solo, why not have a whole orchestra behind you to help? Right?
yeah, yeah, and just to be clear, I don't ever pigeonhole any of my helpers. They will just show up, put out the call. Who do I need to help me with this? This is what I'm.
Ghostbusters. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can help it.
Hey, Ghostbusters could be on the team. Um, I just put out the call, like who do I need to help me with this situation, and they show up. But I'm gonna lean on her now that I know what her gifts are.
That's awesome. Well, I think what she shared is absolutely beautiful. Is there anything else you want to share, or do you think that feels complete now?
She was just showing me and sharing with me that one of the reasons she has extra toes is so that she can provide extra prayer. Again, prayer, as she is explaining and showing to me, is a form of bringing your aspects of self your aspects of your being together into one focused, amplified space. So again, if you wish to start to experience an amplified presence the way I have come to know it, pressing your hands together in what humans call prayer position will connect your fingertip and your palm energy centers, which will activate your heart center and rapidly transfer you into a deeper, amplified state of presence and focus. This is why prayer works. So I want to show you that my extra toes allow me to amplify this so that I can help bring human awareness to this tool. It's important that prayer be thought of as amplified presence and focus, because that is the fuel that amplifies strength, healing, well-being, call it what you want. But this is why, even among all the healing modalities, simply making time to have a simple prayer practice will radically enhance your life, because you have given yourself the gift of a focused moment. So if it would please you and help you, just imagine all my extra toes and my soft toe beans and my soft feet pressing their little toes and energy centers together. When you do this, it amplifies your heart field and brings you into a space where you can really know yourself.
Is that why I'm obsessed with toe beans and call them magical?
Yes, ma'am.
I love that. What does she want the podcast title to be?
Slow down. Don't rush.
Beautiful. Thank you, Arinda. Thank you, Jana.
She said, we all have unlimited time.
We have unlimited time.
We all have unlimited time.
Yeah.
I want to go pick her up and hug her, but I know that will not be well received. So I'm not going to do that. When you pick her up, she sticks her foot out and like pushes on you. She's like, I did not consent.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah.
That is a question I had about why cats don't like being picked up. And she's like, moot point. We're not going to go there. Let's just leave it.
All good. All good. Cool. Thank you so much, Jana. Thank you, Arinda. That was a really lovely conversation.
You are welcome.
All right, you guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did. Please do check out the website inspiredriding.com. And to help you slow down and not rush, you can listen to the meditations that we have there. I think you'll really enjoy them. It's inspiredriding.com, and you'll find them right there on the homepage. Reach out anytime through email, support@inspiredriding.com. If you have questions for the animals, questions for Jana or Beth, we'd love to hear from you. And remember to lead with kindness for yourself and for your horse and all your animals. And may the horse be with you always.